Hello and welcome to the Year 5 welcome meeting. And without further ado, I will now share my screen and we will go through the PowerPoint, which will hopefully inform you of everything you need to know about your child's time in Year 5. Right, okay. Just get it onto slideshow. It's a while since we've had to do this, so you end up forgetting what you need to do. There we are. Okay, welcome again. Okay, so this term we are going to be focusing on invaders and mainly the Romans. Later in the year, we will be focusing on different types of invaders. So when we're looking at the Romans, we will be looking at some of the myths and legends to do with the Romans, some of the gods that they served. We will be looking at a play by William Shakespeare on Julius Caesar. This might seem like quite a difficult play for Year 5s to get to grips with, but actually, once they get into it, they really start to understand the language. And so it's a fantastic introduction and it's got a really good plot. We will be writing stories and instructions in literacy. We will be making PowerPoint presentations in computers, and we've just done some internet safety posters as well. During PE, we will be doing basketball for our outdoor PE this term. And the great news is that we've managed to secure swimming lessons for Year 5s all academic year, which is absolutely fantastic. It means that they can catch up on some of the swimming they missed during the lockdowns last year. Okay, we will be doing a big focus on reading as well, but I'll come to that later. We will also be looking at some poetry in literacy, story writing, Shakespeare, yeah. And in science, we'll be looking at forces, starting with gravity. So this is what the themes look like for the year. I'm hoping to organise some trips this term to Fishbourne Roman Palace and possibly the Novium too. Otherwise, if we can't get to go to the Novium, we will do a Roman walking tour around the walls of Chichester. During the second half of the term, we will be doing a geography unit, which we've called Settlement Detectives, and we will be comparing 3 different areas of the world, one in the UK, one in Europe, and one in the USA. Last year, we focused on heavily forested areas, so we did Ringwood, we did the Schwarzwald in Germany, and we did California with the giant redwoods. So that's a really good fun project, and we do lots of map reading within that project. So if you are into geocaching or any sort of walking where your children can have a go at map reading themselves, orienteering, that will be fantastic practice for our geography project. Of course, we will have Year 5 camp, but that is due to be in the summer term of 2021. And during Year 5 camp, we will be practicing some of our geography and map reading skills too. So after Christmas, hopefully at Christmas, we'll be doing some sort of production, although talks are still in progress at the moment about what we'll be doing there. So spring term, we will carry on with our invaders theme. We will be doing Vikings and Saxons in a history unit. We're hoping to have Paul Olsen in to visit us and to do some workshops as well. And he's also going to be hopefully coming in this term to help us do a mock battle, where we will be teaching the children how to use their amazing shields that they're going to make for homework, and teaching them some of the battleground stances, such as the tortoise, that the Romans used to use to protect themselves. So after the Vikings and Saxons, we usually go alternately history and geography. That's onto our geography project about earthquakes, which is really good fun. Then into the summer term, and we have early Islamic civilizations in history. I've got those two the wrong way around there because we usually do rainforests for geography last of all. And as part of our rainforests unit of work in geography, we will be looking to go on a trip. Last year, we went to Marwell Zoo as part of our Year 5 camp. This year, we may go to Marwell Zoo, or we may go to visit the living rainforest or something similar. So that's really exciting this year for our themes. Being in Year 5, so this year we have some other adults working with us. Of course, we have the lovely Mrs. Corduroy in our classroom. She also does the one-to-one interventions where children go off and do particular activities with her, maybe extra reading or pastoral care, things like that. She's the person that the children tend to turn to when they want to have a chat. We have Mrs. Rattray helping with our reading. Mrs. Potter, of course, is going to be doing my planning time cover, and she's going to be teaching French to Year 5. And Mrs. Dutton, our fantastic PE person, who we couldn't do without, and quite frankly, we would like her to come in more. I love my PE lessons with Mrs. Dutton. She's excellent. So this year, Year 5 pupils will have responsibilities as they used to have a couple of years ago. Those involve looking after the playtime equipment and having monitors on duty each playtime, which they take turns in every day, putting out the equipment for the other children in the school and showing them how to use it. After Christmas, we hope to go back to having our learning buddies with Year 5, where reception children come into Year 5 and the Year 5 children read to the reception children, and the reception children will talk about their books with the Year 5 children, and they absolutely love it. Also, Mrs. Ord, who's been looking after our library, is going to open it up again, and we hope to train up some of the Year 5s to be our junior librarians, and they will be taught how to use the library system in order to check in and check out books for the other children. Within the classroom, I like to move tables quite a lot with the children. I believe that it stimulates them to move around every couple of weeks and not be stuck with the same partner all the time. So if your child happens to be sat with somebody on a table that they don't really get on with or they don't really like, don't worry, because it will only be for a short amount of time and then we'll swap around again. I like to work in mixed ability groups, except for sometimes in maths. It's very useful to work with children of similar abilities and make sure that the children who are struggling a bit with a particular thing get help all together in a group. And then it also means that the children who are flying ahead can work together and challenge each other. So we do tend to mix it up depending on what the thing is that's being taught. We will be assessing the children this year. We'll be doing informal assessments inside in the classroom as they do their work. And also we'll be encouraging them to assess each other and assess their own work in order to become independent thinkers and to be able to communicate their ideas and feedback to their peers. And towards the end of the year, we'll be doing the more formal assessments and tests. So, weekly routines for you and your child. It was a shame last year that we didn't manage to take books backwards and forwards as much as we hoped. and home learning, but we should be back to normal with that this year. So your children have already been given their class reading books this week. Please read with them at least 3 times a week and record it in their purple reading record books, which they have in their school bags. They have been told that they're expected to read every day, but at least 3 times a week with an adult. I've also said that if you're busy, then I expect them to sit in the kitchen while you're making dinner or follow you around the house reading out loud to you, so that there's no excuse for them not to be reading. And of course, reading out loud is a really good skill to have as well. We will go back to having weekly spellings, usually 10 or 11 spellings a week. And I will give you copies of the spellings on the VLE on a Friday so that you can practice over the weekend. And then our spelling tests will be on a Monday. We continue to focus on times tables in year 5, although I have to say I've been very impressed with the year 5 children so far with their maths, and a lot of them really have their times tables off by heart already. So hopefully there's not a lot of work to do. If your child is one that's still struggling with times tables, please do encourage them to practice and to practice using the TT Rockstars. And if you've forgotten your logins, I can give them to you again. Every Friday, your child will have a home learning task, which will be handed in by the Wednesday after. These will be smaller tasks, and then, as you've already had, 1 or 2 larger tasks, which will last a few weeks. So this half term, I've given the Roman Shields homework, which I'm sure you're absolutely thrilled with, but is a bit of a tradition here at Jessie, and also to make a presentation, a research project presentation on the Romans. So, and then each week we'll probably do another little bit of literacy and some maths for home learning. And their home learning books will be coming home on Fridays. I've mentioned swimming, which we're doing all year on a Thursday. You will be asked to drop your child at the Westgate Everyone Active Leisure Centre on a Thursday morning at 8:45 sharp, but there will be a parent mail coming to you if it hasn't come already, giving you all the details. PE this year, we've basketball, hockey, gymnastics and dance in the autumn term. More gymnastics, rugby, non-contact rugby, that should say. I'm sorry about that. We don't do contact rugby at primary school. It's definitely non-contact. Rugby and football. And summer term, rounders, cricket, tennis and athletics as usual. Opportunities for you as a parent or carer. This year, we really want you back in our lives, back in the JYS community. So please do volunteer to help us with any activities that you can volunteer for, any trips. We need parent helpers. If you have an exciting job and would like to come in and tell us all about it, that would be fantastic. And of course, hopefully the Christmas fairs and summer fairs, we need helpers for as well. There will be autumn term parent consultation evenings in October. Watch this space. We will let you know how it's going to look within the next few weeks. And then there's another one in February. Then, of course, the usual summer term reports and opportunity for further meeting if you'd like to. This year, we're changing how you contact us back to the old system. So if you need to contact me about anything, please email the office and don't use our work email addresses. Thank you very much. We're trying to send everything through the office this time so that they can filter out and give us the emails, depending. If they can sort it out first, then they will sort it out for us. And then if only we can sort it out, then we will give you a call or an email, depending on what you would like us to do. So please contact the office in the first instance if you have something that you would like to let us know or ask us. We are hoping to go back to termly class assemblies, so watch this space for news of that as well. And again, as I said, please, please, please volunteer for our school trips. We're hoping to have a few of them, and we'd really like you to come along. Supporting your child's learning, I have talked about reading. If you could do things like visiting the library together and get out some topic related books. So for example, this term, maybe pop along to Chichester Library and get some books out on the Romans. Regular reading aloud, as we've spoken about. Mental maths, including times tables, addition and subtraction. I always find that in the car is a good place because you've got the children's attention. They're in a very small space with you. And sometimes it helps to pass the time if you just ask some times table questions or factual questions, just to keep them on their toes. Exploring measures in the context of the home is excellent for our maths work, especially cooking and baking and telling the time. One of the things that children these days in primary schools find it very hard to do. It's very strange. There are two things that they find it very hard to do. One is to tie their shoelaces, because so many of our children's shoes have Velcro straps. So please make sure that your children are practicing tying their shoelaces if they don't know how to at the moment, and telling the time on an analog clock, so an old-fashioned clock face clock. That would really help us if you can practice that with your children, and learning spellings, etc. So lots of things for us all to be doing. The only way that your children are going to succeed and be the best people that they can be academically is if we all work together. I can't perform the magic on my own. You can't perform the magic on your own, and your child can't perform the magic on their own. Only by working together as a team will we help your child to succeed. And if we do work together, your child can fly and just be the most wonderful person. And now I'm waffling, I do apologize. But I really believe that if we all work together as a team, then our children, the sky's the limit. So before I start getting too emotional and waffly, I'll finish off with back to normal, whatever normal is. We're hoping to be able to do everything that we could before and more. So we still have the hand washing and sanitizing practices in the classroom and in the school, but we are encouraging children and yourselves to do all the things that we used to do. We just have to manage the risk in the most sensible way that we can. But it's really important for us and for the children that we all get back to the most normal way of being at school that we can. I'm really looking forward to working with your children this year. I'm looking forward to lots of dress-up days. Watch out for Roman Day, there will be one. Lots of trips and lots of regular school activities. It's going to be a pleasure to work with you. Please contact me if you need to know anything else, and I'm really looking forward to meeting you soon. So thank you very much. If I can remember how to get back out of Zoom, I will go back out of Zoom. Okay, there we are. Thank you so much for listening to me. I hope I didn't bore you too much, and I look forward to meeting you soon. Take care.